Hello and welcome to Rival Series B stream for a second set of matches of Week 4. I'm Jarv Jam together with Digital Bacon and the Eternal J. We'll be guiding you through the 4 exciting series still remaining with us. Gentlemen, how are you doing? Are you excited for even more Rocket League?
Yeah, actually, I just came back from a KBBQ lunch, so I'm all right today. It's been pretty sweet. My first Korean barbecue, actually. Meeting up with some old mates today. But yeah, we're back. I got here literally 5 minutes before the broadcast was set to start, by the way. So we're on a really good track to make this one as best as we possibly can. But it's always a great time doing Rival B stream, obviously. With some of the best teams in the world right now. Some really reputable squads are up to play today. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, Bake.
Yeah, we definitely got a lot of matches that have a lot of weight today. Just to go through the schedule, guys, at home, we have got the Baguette squad going up against ARG. For me, that is going to be a hot take because naturally ARG have just dropped out of that safety zone, so this is a must-win for them today. Underwater squad are going to have 2 games up against both Baguette squad and Vertex, and they really need to get back on the saddle. Get both those wins today, they'll be 3 for 3, and that's not a bad way to end this week. And then, of course, last but not least, we have got Team Echo Zulu going up against Flump Razon, and Echo Zulu have been so close, but not good enough this season, and Flump Razon are looking so good at the moment. Like, coming into the season, Jay, we knew that this could be the wildcard team, and they're currently sitting top. That is as wild as it gets for them.
Yeah, it's great. For Team Ekazula, unfortunately, they're sitting dead last in the standings right now. So that game, just looking at the teams on paper, seems like it's going to be an easy 3-0 for Flumperzond in the end. But the matches earlier this week on Friday, Flumperzond have won their series again. Discombobulator, RCD Espanyol, once again the Team Ekazula, and that was a series that could have gone Team Ekazula's way, but in the end they just let the series out of their hands. Team Vertex are continuing their reverse sweep seemingly against the whole league, and it's going to be really tough in the remaining weeks. They won 3-0 against Method, so a clean sweep for them. That's pretty incredible. NAS Monaco won 3-1 against ARG, and later lost again Method in the game that was broadcasted after the mainstream.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of up and down. Like, I remember on that stream, Method were not looking good up against Vertex. The 3-0 shutout was very much deserved. Vertex were playing pretty much on form for them, but Method just did not seem to have any communication or teamwork going on. But that game against AS Monaco was the flip side opposite. Like, Method, if they're working, are fantastic. But for me, and Jay, we talked about this before, it comes down to that synergy between Burrito B and Rick's Ronde. Tadpole on Twitter after that series put on out, some days we just don't get it clicking together. Tadpole, for me, is not a problem. It comes down to the other two and their synergy, which really, I reckon they need to get safety again this season and then go away over Christmas and work on. If they don't, I think we could be seeing a bit of a transfer season for them because something is not clicking for those two players.
Yeah, it hasn't been clicking for a while, I want to say, to be honest. I feel like that Method sort of placement in the grand scale of Rocket League has sort of been a bit of a weird one as a result of that duo, because obviously they brought up some really good talent, you know, like Speed's been part of their lineup, Tigray was part of their lineup, Extra was part of it as well, Ocelon was part of that lineup as well. We also had Casio be part of the Method lineup as well. Like, so many big names that have come through and they've sort of like been trained up by Rix and Burrito. So the fact that they've had so many sort of successful sort of outings with several different players sort of like gives them a bit of an impression that I believe that they think that it's still okay, whereas the truth is that in the server things are looking kind of sloppy at times. As you mentioned as well, you know, we have seen like just a very inconsistent basis from Method as a result. It's a shame we won't get to see them on stream today because I mean it could be it could have been a great opportunity to sort of break it down in a bit more detail, I feel like, but not to be. It's fine.
Let's start talking about the first game. That will be Baguette Squad versus ARG. And ARG playing yesterday versus Monaco. Monaco was dominating in overtime. There were 3 overtimes in total in that series, and I believe every single one of those Monaco has won. Indeed, the only game that ARG has won was game number 2, where they swept ASM Monaco, but still couldn't just hold on to the rest of it. ARG just barely out of position every single time an attack unfolded. They played well, but then they couldn't really create the passing plays or the offensive plays, it seems. And the most important one, they couldn't involve Monkey Moon in their plays. For a player that is participating in 50% of their goals, not just participating, scoring 50% of the goals for ARG team, having him down or taking out of the play is tremendous for us.
Yeah, you can definitely see why they brought Monkey Moon in the off season, but they sort of had an off season which was very quiet. They didn't participate in much, and so they're not a squad together yet. So right now, this is when ARG needs to find and click. They didn't do it last night. They're going up against an easier squad per se in Baguette squad, but now they've still got this is the first of 4 remaining matches. They could, if they win all of them, come out 6-3 at the end of the season, which should be able to put them in top 4 quite comfortably. So it's their turn around time now. Plus, they've already had a lot of the toughest opponents out of the way. After today, they'll go on to face Underwater Squad, Team Echo Zulu, and then Method. Method should be the trickiest one out of that lot, of course, but ARG, it should be the redemption song for them right now, Jam.
I kind of want to disagree. I think the Baguette squad are a bit more of a tougher opponent than you really think, Bacon. I mean, we've talked a little bit about ARG's complacency in the off-season. You mentioned how it was very quiet, but Baguette squad, they were constantly training in all sorts of bubble and off-season tournaments. And of course, they brought in a brand new boy to the lineup, UKIS replacing Extra, being that main sort of thing. And I think that overall Baguette squad, I think it was a bit of a downgrade losing Extra in that respect. Obviously, Extra's gone on to do really great things in that part of arguably a better lineup. But I think that still that French connection can work out pretty well. For me personally, this is the main thing about this one is going to be the veterancy of these two teams. Obviously, being part of the rival series from last season is going to kind of tip over to aid them in terms of the overall season. But between these two sides, there is a bit of a grudge match in that respect. These two teams are currently fighting around about the middle of the table. ARG and Baguette squad were pretty much tied before the mainstream matches earlier yesterday. So only RCD Espanol is setting themselves in right now, and ARG trying to catch up against the Baguette squad. Baguette squad are ranked a little bit higher, and honestly, I can see a world in which ARG do lose this match. I'll be honest.
Well, gentlemen, it is time for us to start our very first series. So, Jay, Bacon, take us away.
Thanks a bunch, Jam. Yes, I can see a world where ARG do lose this one, but Bacon, you say against that. I mean, I want to get all your quick predictions in terms of the series scoreline. How close do you think this one will be?
I actually think, like you, this is going to be Baguette squad taking it, and I'm going to say we could see a Game 5 come out on top. That is, of course, if both teams are playing their fullest. We've seen ARG fall off a little bit in the past. Hoping that's not the case today, because if they fall off, we could even see a 3-0 in Baguette squad's favour.
I'm going to go with Baguette squad to win this one, but I think it's going to be a very close series. I'm going to go 3-2, actually, so let's see it be as close as possible. Yeah, pretty much. Baguette squad in the blue side, ARG repping the orange colours for today. It is a kickoff start out towards that orange half. So far, the backline defensive from Clayx and Monkey Moon will hold face for a decent clear. A couple of awkward touches coming in from the Baguette squad backline, and Clayx can get a decent shot towards the target. Mark Baguette trying to follow up and swooping dangerously, plays it in. Clayx plays it back out towards the midfield. UKIS now here with a receiver in the orange half on the breakaway for the Baguette squad side. Rizal again to the backboard. Mark Baguette will be able to get the touch in. So easy as that so far for the ARG defensive.
Yeah, and it's an interesting opening portion. Monkey Moon sending this back down to the middle, but both teams sort of having a bit of a slugfest where they're throwing punches, looking for gaps, looking for cracks. And if they can find one, they'll punish. But at the moment, it's all about playing safe and making sure that no mistakes are made from both sides. I'm liking this long launch downfield from Clayx, though. It's a clever little maneuver just to see how they're going to rotate and respond to that and where they need to position themselves. But not enough pressure for me being applied from ARG in this portion. Clayx finally putting this ball across center, but not a second man to follow up on that one, Jay.
Backboard play still coming through from the ARG side. Monkey Moon getting it dangerously close, and UKIS with a big miss will give the first opportunity over to the ARG side. They strike first in game number 1.
That's a really interesting hit as well, because where he front flipped into it, but it hit in the center of his car, it sort of didn't get hit as powerful as you would expect. So an interesting little one there, but yeah, defense not lined up correctly there. For what was, most of the time for these two teams, an opportunity that wouldn't be a goal. It didn't seem any sort of explosive play like you normally see from ARG. Baguette squad need a response.
Now they've got a bit of pressure over towards that orange half. They have a pretty decent amount of pressure so far in this matchup, but they need to convert it into a goal. Rouge will take it out towards that corner board, and Swoopin holds the midfield contention alongside Yukis in the back line overall. He'll pick up that 100 boost as well, but Swoopin's going to take the main brunt of the defensive as Monkey Moon gets two good 50-50s inside that box, and all three players scramble to get the clear here on the part of the Baguette squad as Rizal out to the midfield. Yukis with a great 50-50 of his own gets it past Mark, and ARG so far forward, pushing up with the offensive, will not be allowed any sort of rotation.
Yeah, for me right there, Monkey Moon coming on in for the challenge. Should have just rotated back to net there, Jay. Keep a lot of space so we can see the initial pop, which would have had to been play anyway there. He should have been able to chase up on that one afterwards. They're getting a little bit overzealous right now. They need to just calm down a little bit in defense.
Backboard from Clayx here out to the midfield, received by Mark Baguette, again passing out to that right-hand side. Swooping with the boom back downfield, and Clayx can take it out towards that corner once again. It's Yukis. The dribble player, Rizal in towards Swoopin now as he tries to take control and push up the right-hand side. Gets it past the first. Mark Baguette will take it back a little bit further away. It's Mark off that sideboard. Flick past the first man, but definitely not the second here. Rizal and Yukis, great dribbles up again, trying to carry it to the backboard, but not a lot of boost available for the Baguette squad side. Resource management might be a bit of a problem when it gets to that offensive side. 2 minutes into this one, though, and we are 1-1 on the board, so still plenty of breathing room for both sides at this stage.
Yeah, Swooping going to get cut out here by Clayx. That is good covering of the midfield line, essentially making sure those exit paths cannot be found. Mark Bate going off the backboard. He's wanting a teammate here. Clayx a little bit slow and wide. It's all about pressure right now. They're trying to pull out as many defenders and then finish it off point blank. I'm not so confident of it, but it finds its way. For me, I don't know how Baguette squad get baited into this, Jay.
Seems to be a bit of a common thing in the rival series. It's not the only team that end up getting played off the backboard. Two players to that right-hand side of the net, committing against that one ball. Rizal well out of position. And that was the end of it. 2-1 on the board for the ARG side. And look at his kickoff as well. That bump play onto Clayx is the best play you could have taken at the moment for the Baguette squad side. Do we get the receive back over to the box, and Rizal will try to take it over from the midfield, follow through with a secondary touch. No boost available then. Swooping. Up and over, Mark by 8 will be taking it out towards that corner. Bounce again to the center line. Rizal has to take that away. They're getting dangerously close set up here on the ARG side. Monkey Moon with a big miss. Mark by 8 will still be able to control the defensive, beating out Rizal. Yukis will try and come forward, but there's too much presence inside that corner for the ARG side. So they continue the midfield presence, continue to try to keep the pressure going. A couple of good clears will still come out from ARG, and they've been so deadly when they've done that. So close towards the net, but no more goals going in. In the last 60 seconds, they still have a lead, though.
Yeah, and I'm going to be intrigued by what Mark Bate does here right now. He's got caught up in that midfield line a little bit too long. He's gone the whole way back, and so he's just a little bit out of place. Good little covering rotation for Monkey Moon to be able to step on in. Monkey Moon needed on defense, and that's generally where he's weaker. I mean, his teammates can cover the rest of it, but you notice rotations and communication is a little bit wonky at the moment for ARG.
30 seconds to try and get that in order. They still have a lead. So long as they can hold the defense, is pretty good. Clayx now in with a dribble up, and just barely a defensive rotation coming in from Rizal to pinch it out. But now they have to get back to the orange half. Yukis using all of his boost to boom it to the backboard. Cut off by Mark and Monkey Moon. Rizal takes it further and goes to the backboard one more time, looking for a secondary touch, but it's Clayx to feed it back over to the blue half. Yukis in the defense. Monkey and Clayx will leave it for Mark off the backboard. Monkey going to reposition, but we're pushed out to the midfield in open space. Swooping has to take control, challenged by Mark. Yukis to follow up. That's on target, but Clayx will be able to take it away all the same. Still Rizal keeping the pressure over to the right-hand side. Yukis got a nice open ball to take off the backboard. Rizal got his own control, but couldn't get the confident touch. A nice effort there from Baguette squad in the waning moments of that game, but game one in the end goes the favor of ARG.
For me, Baguette squad got a little bit too passive in that last minute, Jay. And then finally, as soon as 0-0 hit, it was just all out, try and find it to net. And we need more of those last moments to be played all the time coming out from Baguette squad. They cannot get just, I want to say, conservative, wait in their own half. No, they've really got to stick it to ARG, because ARG want to be that super aggressive, bam, Spanish style, yada, 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 and in their opponent's face. You've just got to deny that and essentially hold the midfield line if you're Baguette squad.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were doing an all right job of holding that midfield overall, but the problem was always those clears coming through from ARG, managed to get it past them, past the midfield line. So they've got a couple of things that they can work on when it comes down to the midfield hold. Game 2 coming up to play here. It is again a kickoff that tries to get some presence going in the orange half in the early part of this game. Quickly counteracted here by the ARG side. Monkey Moon and Mark Baguette playing off each other, passing up towards each other. Monkey Moon to the backboard, swooping, can't take this away. Rizal with a miss. Mark Baguette with a redirect. 2 players committing to that defense. It takes it to the corner, but you've still got Mark in position to try and harass the backline. It will be cleared out to that midfield, but look at the booming clears again. Talking about this in game 1, and now they're starting to hold real prominence here in game 2. The counter-attack will come through for the Baguette squad, but they're unable to get any good shots on target.
Yeah, and you'll notice the follow-ups just aren't so clean. Yukis did go in to steal a bit of boost, hoping that his teammates could get Preston in the center, but nothing came through, so he's out of position here. No one back in. Defense all pushed up way too far. And Monkey Moon, he just gets these. They're his bread and butter, essentially, these easy drop-downs. I say easy. This would be hard for you and me, Jay, but for him, he makes it just simple.
And we saw a baited defense, baited defense into the offense from ARG in that last game. The same could be said for the Baguette squad, though. Smart goes up to receive off the backboard, looking for a second chance, but Rizal able to feed it away. And Monkey Moon will boom it back on over to the midfield control. Clayx passing back. Mark Baguette not got a lot of boost available to him. Will be forced back by swooping here. Gets that 100 towards the corner though, but leaves it for Clayx and Monkey Moon to get the clears again, passing between each other. Monkey Moon off the backboard. Yukis has got to take that to the right-hand side. So that would have been perfectly set up for a quick play from Clayx. As Rizal booms this, Monkey Moon takes it away. Clayx again from the corner will get it out to that blue half, and the clears followed up again by Mark Baguette, keeping Baguette squad in their half most of the time. The midfield control has really fallen apart for the Frenchman as Monkey and Mark continue to push up that left-hand side, trying to get a decent pass into the field. But so far defended away from the box. Clayx with a decent redirect. It's a slow ball, and Rizal can defend.
But that follow-up from swooping to stay in net, before we had seen him trying to move on out. But no, he's learned his lesson. He's staying back, knowing that there's going to be a quick second follow-up coming out from ARG. The only problem now is they do need to find route to net, because ARG are just closing down that midfield, beating them to the ball. This is a decent idea, and Mark Baguette trying to look for Clayx, but Rizal reads that well, and they finally break out their half. They really need to hold down now. Swooping's going to get up in the air, and unfortunately no one can follow on, so that's a wasted opportunity for Baguette squad.
The passing play is looking really good from ARG, usually passing to open space or close to a teammate or directly onto a teammate as well. Keeping that ball as far away from the Baguette squad hands as is possible now. It's Mark Baguette on the breakaway. Monkey Moon here to try and follow up. Good shot towards Yukis. He'll be able to take it away all the same. And Swooping gets that 100 to boom it back over to open space. Rizal trying to get into position to receive, and he will carry it pretty far forward, but one good challenge from Mark, playing right into the ARG hands. Bad clear from Swooping. Yukis has got to recover that because that was on target, and Clayx will continue to pressure here towards the target off the top of the backboard. Rizal and Swooping. 2 players combining, but not enough boost, not enough power, and not enough momentum and control behind their cars to get that ball very far forward. Clayx will commit here on the shot with a second player there as well, but no counteractive responses here from the Baguette squad. Unable to punish a couple of the small mistakes coming out from ARG as Mark and Monkey Moon play themselves in towards that box, and it will be cleared by Rizal.
It is still only 1-0, but all control is definitely with ARG at the moment. Baguette squad can only get 1 hit out of defense and no follow-up. Here, another one from Swooping. He's got to find a way to chase it downfield, but that big clear from Monkey Moon nullifies any danger, and Clayx is perfectly positioned in the midfield line to just get a hit on that. The 50-50 block. And again, dead in the Baguette squad corner.
Yeah, 1:15 on the clock at this stage. They have struggled to get many shots on the board here. Plays back in towards that box of the ARG half, and we'll just take a look at those statistics real quick. 8 shots for ARG, only 2 for the Baguette squad in game 2. Rizal will try for 1 right here, gets it past both of them. Clayx couldn't be far forward enough. That's 1-1. Finally, Baguette squad, after a ton of struggling, will be able to equalize.
Yeah, I was almost disappointed in Yukis for just letting that go. He wanted to try and pick up for a dribble. 50-50 came through, and a beautiful follow-up from Rizal, putting it right up into the top shelf, as hard as it can be for a defender to get to. And they finally break it. 1-1, but ARG, they know the deal. They're quickly back on the attack, Jay.
Same can be said for the Baguette squad, though, trying to tighten up that back line here. A couple of good plays off towards the crossbar. Awkward saves to come through.
No.
Oh, and marked by 8 with a miss. Baguette squad getting off lucky, but Monkey Moon trying his best to recover here in the danger box. Clarex will come forward, bounce out. Marked by 8 still hunting for an opportunity, but it will be cleared out eventually. And Monkey and Mark will play towards the orange half. Ukis off that sideboard. Clarex continues the pressure now. Monkey bounce out towards the corner board, cleared away by Rizal, swooping there to try and receive it with a second touch. Bounce out momentum, Rizal here to receive it. He leaves it for UKIS, but neither player was ready for it. 10 seconds remaining, and they continue the pressure here to try and run down the timer or score a last-second goal. Monkey takes it out to the corner. Mark bounce up. This is dangerous, but it is going to go wide. And Swooping takes it into an even more dangerous position, but no one able to punish. We are in overtime for Game 2.
Better from Baguette squad, but they've got to get a bit more decisive, Jay. You saw it earlier. The double commit for the ball, but no one going for it. And that right there, the demo, not the right choice. No one back in defense and pressure, pressure, pressure. Monkey Moon's initial hit there was golden.
So much reliance on that challenge going well from the back line, but unfortunately it didn't, and ARG will be the victors of Game 2 on match point on 2-0 fashion. I mean, it has felt like a struggle from Baguette squad, probably more so than I really expected. I think more so than what a lot of people expected at this stage. ARG certainly proving they have a little bit of fire under themselves. But Baguette squad, though, a bit of a poor showing, I want to say. Again, only 3 shots on target in that entire game. It's not great.
Baguette squad were our favourite for this matchup as well, Jay, for both of us. We were saying, oh, it should be a close one, 3-2. ARG are turning up today. Baguette squad, they've taken their time. They're finally starting to get warmed up. And like I said, they're still not at 100%. And that worries me because Baguette squad have a second match today. If they're not warmed up after this one, it could bode really unwell. Like, they go into, I'm just quickly going to double check. I'm pretty sure it's Underwater squad, is it? Later on? That they face off against? Yes. And their Underwater squad, after seeing ARG, because those lads will be tuning on in, they'll see, oh, okay, so super aggressive Bam Bam style works. We're just going to pull that out again. Baguette squad got their socks right now.
Game 3 and a full reverse sweep to try and turn it around. Swooping will try and take this to the backboard off the back of the early kickoff. Ukis looking for control, but control is the one thing they just haven't had here. Play out to the corner. Swooping takes it up high. Monkey back into Clarex. He'll leave it on the fake. Monkey trying to go for a dunk down double touch, but everybody's taking their misses on the ball. Ukis now trying to take the front of the offensive, but no one there to follow up in the center line. It's Monkey and Clarex. Good pass, good shot play to the backboard. Mark Bayet's going to try and recover it, but Ukis already up to receive it and will beat everybody else to the ball. Clarex also coming in to keep the midfield control, and talked about the Baguette squad getting their midfield control in Game 1. In Game 2 and 3, it has all been ARG at this stage. The first 45 seconds tick by. It has been ARG with most of the offensive pressure. No goals to come in just yet, but we are inches away from one, and that one from Mark almost went in.
That one maybe meters away there, Jay, but this, Mark by 8, not quick enough to get up in the air and not able to finish that one off. The pass out is good onto Ukis, but this will all come down to Swooping's charge. Defense just good enough to put it off to the side.
Bouncing off that crossbar, going over Clarex, and that got a little bit too risky for my liking. Monkey booms this one back over to the backboard. Rizal up and in. Mark by 8 taking this one off the backboard one more time. Ukis leaving it, but that's even more dangerous. Oh, no. Now Clarex and Mark by 8 both have great opportunities. Monkey Moon to try and swoop back in, but it's Ukis overall with the defensive. Clarex with a demo. Swooping again, going for the challenge, and will be able to take it to that corner. Desperate times right now in the Baguette squad backline as they just pepper the backboard. So many shots coming through, but good challenges to keep ARG at bay.
Yeah, and Ukis finally having an option to move on out. Rizal takes the boost as well. We'll have to see, because Swooping now is locked in the midfield. Very little. My Bay is going for this demo.
Oh!
Didn't even need it. Monkey Moon, I don't know how he was able to force this on through.
It's a very difficult 50-50. Ukis chased down by Mark by 8. Did such a good job at evading him as well, and just couldn't get the right angle on the ball. Monkey And that first in on the 3-minute marker for ARG. And again, they have control. Baguette squad struggling, but starting to show signs of a little bit of life at this stage. No backup for the forward player here on the offensive, and now Klex will try and look to punish it. Good shot coming through, just defended by Rujal and Yukis. Monkey Moon comes up, passed out at Mark by 8. Great control, flick pass to both players committing. Klex now with a chance to punish. Swoopin is in the backline in the net to receive it, and Mark by 8 will go for a shot that Swoopin is going to be able to slave. Now bumps coming through, chance for Monkey Moon to get another goal in, and he lands it perfectly. Rujal not sure where to place himself. It's 2-0 at 2.5.
Baguette squad letting that ball just sort of linger about in the net. After that bump onto Yukis, Rizal needed to turn quick on it. Unfortunately, kept his normal rotations, and it will cost him. Halfway into this one, Jay, 2-0, it is not gone for Baguette squad just yet. I want to see them throw every single plan they've had out the window and just ball chase right now. Get some demo wins as well, and just change up their style completely to throw ARG off. Because it's last-ditch chances right now for them.
Absolutely, they are running out of time and they are running out of opportunities as Monkey Moon gets it underneath the last man. At that point, what can you do if you're Baguette squad? 3-0 down, looking for a reverse sweep in this series, and they have just not shown up to play today.
What's the stat? Monkey Moon's been involved with 50% of the goals of ARG. I think today he's trying to push that up to about 60-70%. This lad has just been on fire. And the other two from ARG know it. They'll just enable him all day long.
2 minutes to go. ARG hold all the cards. All the advantages here in our best of 5. May very quickly be over. Swoopin and Yukis trying to find ways to work in. Good pass up. Yukis with control. Trying to flick past Mark by 8, but he is able to block it off. Rachel with a dunk down chance, but Klex there with a defense hold. Pinch back over into the blue half. Swoopin gets that 100 boost, but leaves it for Yukis for the overall defensive. Getting it past 2 players. Now to carry it forward here with a ceiling shot chance. Pinching that off the floor. And Mark by 8 reading it well to get it away all the same. Swoopin in the back line. Touching out towards that corner, Klex passing out to the center line. The pass has been looking so good from ARG, but this time they're going to get beaten to the ball. It doesn't matter. The defensive holds from ARG, no opportunities opening for Baguette squad, and with a minute to go, their life is starting to dwindle here in this matchup.
The problem I'm seeing with Baguette squad now is it's just big hits downfield. There is no destination for this ball. It is just go far. Stuff like this from Yukis is good. It gets it downfield. It alleviates a bit of pressure, but at the end of the day, they're not going to get a goal off it. They've got to change that up. They've got to have purpose with their play.
Mark challenging, just trying to throw them off here in that box. Ball out to the sideboard, Swooping, passing out to Visual. Yukis trying to insert himself in that line, but Klex just gets the touch. That's all he needs. 30 seconds, and they are stalling for time. They do not need any more goals. One would be nice. But at this point, Baguette squad starting to dwindle here. Mark passing to Monkey. Good shot coming through, and Swoopin will block it off regardless. 10 seconds on the clock here for the Baguette squad, and they really have been decimated by the ARG lot. 3-0 on the board for Game 3 and 3-0 in this best-of-5 series. That certainly was not what we expected, Bacon. I think everyone expecting a bit of a closer affair on this match.
Yeah, it's definitely not what we expected, but I'm pretty sure a lot of ARG fans are going to be happy with that one, Jay, because that does put them on 3-3 and then back into contention for those reserve spots. And it means there's a glimmer of hope to their season to even make top 4. ARG coming in today. Jam, you were sitting in the background, so I saw you eating your lunch/dinner and enjoying the Rocket League. What are your thoughts on that, dude?
That was very tasty dinner. Those were my thoughts on it. Or if you're asking about the series, complete and utter domination, really. ARG boost-starved Baguette squad. ARG just put on so much pressure in the blue half. The amount of shots, I didn't see how many shots Baguette took in the third game. I have a suspicion together from all these three. All right, so together from all the games, it's 8 shots for Baguette squad. And I'm assuming about 50 from ARG. They're just relentless with their attacks.
11 in that last game alone, which is ridiculous.
Exactly. Just the amount of opportunities they were taking. They were Orange half wasn't even a deal in the series, I feel like. All the plays were happening in the blue side, and whenever Baguette Squad got out, they were out of boost, they couldn't really create anything, their attempts were immediately thwarted by ARG, the ball returned back again, and I'm even surprised in many ways that Baguette Squad managed to get 2 goals in this series. But for now, they are actually dead tied in the standings, both at 3-3, both at the same game difference with +2 games. And as a result, for ARG, this is a very important one. This might be the one that might set Baguette down just a little bit lower and would allow for ARG to survive.
Yeah, I think in that respect for Baguette Squad, it's not too important of a loss to take, obviously, because they're still within that 5th and 6th sort of region. They are, as you say, tied, only separated by, of course, their series victory that they just took on the ARG part of things. So Baguette Squad still in a decent standing overall. I'm just concerned about their form if they're going to be coming forward and doing more matches like that, because that was not a very nice time for them whatsoever. As you mentioned, like the boost sort of management seems to sort of be the root of all their problems. It meant that they couldn't contest in the front field, no contention in the midfield, struggling backline defensive. That was the most confident part of everything for the Baguette Squad. But even then, ARG was able to score goal after goal, had much more coordination, great passing plays, great clears to open field. And none of that sort of showed up from the Baguette Squad side. Like, you know, and again, it felt like they just didn't have the resources to challenge for those kind of things, you know?
I was feeling exactly that way, and really, it's a lot of credit also goes to ARG. Without their non-stop pressure, Baguette Squad might have had a little bit of a breather, but Baguette Squad's passive play, coupled with the fact just how much aggression ARG put together, well, resulted in a 3-0 sweep. Well, that gets rid of the first series of the day. When we'll come back, Underwater Squad and Team Vertex will be battling in their head-to-head. Team Vertex, team on an up and up, looking like they might make that miraculous run from the very bottom of the standings back into the survival zone. Underwater Squad still looking for a couple of wins rather. So stay where you are. More rival series action after this break.